Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Housewife Historian. Today we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and we're going to be talking about a little bit about Jen Shah and everything that transpired leading up to this point. For anyone that hasn't been following the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City from the very beginning, this might be a little bit difficult to follow with Monica and this whole hate account, and most of us had never even heard of this reality Von T, but we're going to get all into all of that. Before we do, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. All of my tea I put through my YouTube channel first, so that the subscribers are, that's sort of like the advantage to being on YouTube, is that you're going to hear it first. And we're going to be starting with, and of course everything in this video is alleged. Also check out my friend, she hosts me every Thursday for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap, NYC Gal Out. You can check her out, her podcast out. You can check out my podcast at Housewives 411. I have some keeping up to do though, because I've been over here on YouTube. So anyways, let's get started where all of this starts. Okay, I don't know if Bravo's keeping us from this. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, if they're saving it for the reunion, but let's be really clear. Monica did not have a beef with Jen Shah prior to starting reality Von T. She was part of the little Shah's, not even Shah, she was friends with the designer of Jen Shah's that stepped in. He was in the Hulu series. There was audio of Jen cussing him all the way out that leaked, that did not look good for Jen. And I don't think they really worked together again after that. Then allegedly this website, so the beef happened between Jen Shah and her ex designer. She alleges that he makes the website Reality Von T. She sent him a cease and desist way back in 2021. And if you guys are new to my channel, I reported on that like last week, whenever it first happened. I let everyone know that she knew who was in charge of this website. She knew that it was the designer, and she also knew that it was Monica. They sent a cease and desist, and they actually included production allegedly on that cease in paperwork, you know what I'm saying. But I want to get started. I can't play a lot for you guys, obviously, because of copyright issues, but the designer was in the Hulu series, so I'm sure that you guys will. I'm going to play a little bit of a clip for you guys.
So I did submit some information that may have helped lead them in a direction to convict her in her federal trial.
This was very quiet, but he just said, I'm sorry, I should ask for pronouns. I'm sorry. Code, the designer, just said that he may have presented some evidence that helped with the federal investigation.
I don't feel safe still with her out in public or until she's actually behind bars.
When fashion designer Koa Johnson joined the so-called Shaw Squad back during the tail end of filming for season 1, it started off great, but it would not last.
I would describe our relationship very close because it was a business relationship, but at the same time, personal relationship, because I had to work so closely with her. When I first created a look for her based off of she wanted to portray, which was being a very glamorous, strong Polynesian woman, fierce, inviting, pretty much a badass.
As her designer and stylist, Johnson had behind-the-scenes access to Shaw at home, day to day, even when the camera stopped rolling.
Jennifer Shaw is a...
So I'm assuming that the audio that was leaked of Jen screaming at him, it was bad. It was not a good look for her, honey. It was not a good look for her. I'm assuming that was a result because he was doing a lot of her, probably helping with like her social media and looks and designs and yada yada yada. So I want to play for you guys the last of what he said.
Very difficult person to get to do anything. She's self-sabotaging. She will stay at home all day, in bed, in pajamas, or in the clothes that she's been wearing for like the past 3 days.
Eventually, Johnson says he began seeing glimpses of what he called Wicked Witch.
So what does that sound like? Somebody that stays in their bed for 3 days? That sounds like someone that might have some depression. Like, not diagnosing here, but I do want to note that in her paperwork when she requested to go to the specific penitentiary in Texas, it was due to the drug and alcohol rehabilitation there. And she said in her documents that she was using alcohol and to cope. And we know that her doctor had prescribed her some antidepressants as well, because she told us, I think during season 2, and we know how dangerous those can be when you're drinking. So that kind of goes together. But regardless, if he's giving evidence to the FBI and Monica is giving evidence to the FBI, doesn't that seem crazy? Doesn't that seem crazy? Like, wow, what a coincidence. Like, neither one of you got charged with anything, and neither one of you were like in the scheme of anything, but you both helped. Crazy. Anyways, I just don't want you guys to think that Monica solely sought Jen Shah out to take her spot to get on the Real Housewives. I don't think that was ever the end goal. Okay. I think that she got in with this designer, and this designer got in with Jen Shah, and she saw an opportunity. And I think she probably likely played both sides. And when I say that, I mean that when the designer and Jen Shah fell out, the designer's friend, Monica, probably went to Jen Shah and was like, oh my God, he's the worst. And was probably going back and forth between the two of them. Just saying. Until either she felt, well, she was going back and forth with the designer, with Jen Shah, and with her FBI friend, her Secret Service friend that she turned Jen into, allegedly. The last thing I want to read to you guys, and for you guys just to take in, is this statement that was on Jen Shah's Instagram. Shout out to Bravo and Blaze who captured it. I'm not sure if it's still posted or not. I'm not gonna, it's long, it's not too long, but I'm not going to stretch it out for you guys, but we're going to talk a little bit about it because it says a lot, and it doesn't say a lot of good things. I don't think it sounds like it says a lot of good things about production or Daddy Cohen. You guys can decide for yourselves. Also, I'll get into that in a second. So it says, just a month prior to Jen's sentencing in December of 2022, NBC, Bravo, and Shed Media approached Jen Shah in connection with a one-on-one interview with Daddy Cohen. The one-on-one interview would take place at her home as they discussed the particulars of her case and her relationship with the other ladies of the show. Due to the holidays and the looming sentencing date approaching, Jen elected to spend time with her family as well as continue to abide by the advice of her legal representation, which is why she did not attend Salt Lake City 3 reunion. Any good attorney, and even David Yontef says this, they will tell you to shut the F up, okay? Don't say anything. After sentencing terms and learning her fate and weighing certain clauses of the agreement regarding exclusivities, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and misrepresentations, a common term in reality television contracts, Jen respectfully declined in the offer, and the message was relayed back to network and production company. From there began a host of unknown and direct calls from production, network execs, attorneys, and other relative parties about being her opportunity and threats of her exclusivity with the program, The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We were told, quote, you know how much of an honor it is to sit down with Andy Cohen, end quote. These calls and emails lasted until the middle of January, which is where all met with respect and declines until Jen had to release a statement. As Jen enjoys delivering television, the reality of the situation was that she had less than a month before she had to surrender, and she chose the precious time to spend with her family. The decision did not sit well with the network and the production company, and let me tell you why. There's a couple of reasons here. One of the reasons is they were used to a Teresa Giudice who gave it to us all very raw back in the day. There was never a no to the cameras. I think that sometimes we talk about how Bravo can take advantage. I don't want to say take advantage, but people sometimes will think that they take advantage of situations, or they shouldn't film this, or everyone has a different opinion. But Teresa and Judy J, were going through financial issues, and if one of them wasn't going to be able to, only one was going to be home with the children while the other one went away. Okay. And they had a big ass mortgage and they had 4 daughters at home. Teresa was doing everything that she could, every gig that she could, to make as much money as she could, I think, to put away and to pay restitution even before she even went away to prison. So there was no when it came to Teresa and Joe Duji going away. Okay. And people ate it up. It was ate up. Everything was shown, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Would Teresa have done that if she was rolling in the big bucks? Probably. I mean, who would if they were rolling in a ton of money, right? So for production and the network and for Andy Cohen, I often say that I think that the demise of any sort of loving, friendly relationship, Andy Cohen like loving on Teresa, is over a little bit because of the fact that she's not in her yes stage anymore. She doesn't have to say yes to everything that Bravo wants her to say yes to because, Bravo's getting a piece of the pie. She is married now. She's a second income, a partner, right? A big difference from having a partner to not having a partner. And when she came home from prison, again, she was paying a lot of restitution. She was working every job that she could, every job that they offered. And when she married Louis, she didn't have to do that anymore. She could say no. And I don't think Bravo liked that. And then that's why I think they didn't like it with Jen Shah. But let's continue. Since Jen has made the decision, including declining other requests from exec producers over the months, i.e. asking Coach Shah to film for season 4, inquiring on her life in prison, they probably wanted to do a check-in like they did with Teresa. For season 4, inquiring on her life in prison and her release date, which continues to move up, the network and production company have worked overtime in their attempt to retaliate and bring down Jen. These examples include casting an individual that was given a cease and desist back in 2021. You heard that on my channel last week, in which production company and the network were sent a copy of that at the time, allowing now, the only thing I wanted to say about that is Monica does have a lot of different last names. Even Heather said that when they went to look her up at the place, there's 4 different Monicas. So maybe they didn't. I mean, I don't know. Production, I don't think they didn't know, but maybe they didn't know everything. Let me continue. Allowing various guests to come on the weekly variety show and imply Jen's involvement in a physical act that did not occur. Even sending certain cast members to try and rekindle with Jen or close family members in hopes of getting added to her video call list for what we can all assume was for a storyline in season 4. These instances were all met with a no reply as Jen continues to work on her own personal growth and change as promised at sentencing. In due time, Jen will speak her side of the story and set the record straight. This is important. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. I hate when that happens. My low battery sign. I know it gives you guys a pause or a glitch. This is the good part. It says, in due time, Jen will speak her side of the story, but in bold letters, it says, the great thing about technology is that all phone calls, emails, and text messages are recorded. We thank the fans for their continued support. They're saying, without respectful disrespect to Bravo, try me, because it's all recorded. You guys trying to recruit her, trying to send housewives to recruit her, trying to send family and friends to recruit her. It ain't happening, honey. Okay? So I just wanted you guys to go in with a little bit of a deeper understanding of what has really transpired here. This woman has definitely worked, allegedly, Monica has worked very hard to get where she is. But I also want you guys to remember that her mother called her an actress. This was another thing I wanted you guys to hear that I thought was really crazy. Her mother called her an actress in this leaked video, and she says, Monica, you're an actress. Like, your job is to get camera time. That's what she told her. 1 second. I want you guys to hear that. And that was a little weird to me. Because it's like, what? Let me see if I can find it. I really want to find the original leaked. Here we go. Good old Daily Mail. Here we go. Because I just think that's a really strange thing to say. You're an actress, Monica. Your job is to get screen time. You're an actress. Like, you did all this work driving past Jen's house. Like, allegedly someone was trying to say that they wanted the addresses of all the ladies because she wanted to get on the show. But you could find the address of all the ladies very easily. That would not have been a difficult thing, guys. Come on, no. This was all about Jen, what was happening with Jen's life. She was getting sentenced. That's the info they wanted. That's why they were driving past when they heard she was moving.
The only thing that you did was unite those 4 assholes. That's the only thing that you did.
Her mom said the only thing that you did was unite those 4 a-holes.
How can you forget that your job is to get on airtime, to get into as many scenes as possible? You gotta play nice. I know you don't like her. I know you got beef with her, but you're an actress. You gotta pretend like all is right in the world. It's a job. It's a show. It's a reality show that you worked hard to get on.
You left me completely in the fucking water with these kids. You took Andy's side. I was not a disaster. I was not an embarrassment.
You were in someone's home yelling and dropping
So was everyone else. Go yell at them. Go yell at Heather. Go yell at Lisa. Yes, they were. You should have been listening harder then, I guess. You should have been listening harder. She started it. Don't come over here and start this with me.
Don't make it personal.
You don't understand? Go.
There's another like 3 more minutes of that. They mentioned Lori, the producer, yada yada yada. So if you guys get a chance, go Google that. I would just encourage you. But again, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of backstory on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't know what production's holding from us. I don't know. And hopefully they mention like the style or the designer and include that in the backstory, because one, it's giving Monica way too much credit. You did not come up with all of this on your own. Even the hairdresser, I'm sorry, she had no reason to either. I mean, obviously they all had their own little motives, but who had the real motive here? And yeah, so don't forget, make sure that you guys are watching for my lives. Check out my TikTok, HW Historian 2. Make sure you comment and hit like and